It's getting better.
No, every time. And you remember the first time we came to me and there were so many challenges. Of course, I was here late again last night. And this morning, I could see the potential of a challenge, but it was not as bad as the first time.
What do you mean by you could see the potential of a challenge?
It's like when you're about to do something that you know you have to do, then something comes that comes like urgency. But I always remember this quadrangle that back in the day probably has a name, but it's like they are in the quadrant. There are very urgent, but not important. Very important and very urgent. All the four quadrants are urgent, but they have different level of importance. So it's about recognizing what seems urgent but is not important.
Recognizing what seems urgent
but it's not important.
So something can be urgent.
Oh, yes.
But not important. Give me an example.
For example, one of our clients calls me at the time I'm just about to leave to come here. Oh, Egbamila, ma, Ejoma, mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ dé ibi yẹn, mo need help ma, mo need pé kẹ́ fún mi ní kinní kan nísinsìnyí ma, otherwise ma, mo ní lè gbá ọmọ mi lọ school.
Urgent to her. To the client.
And mo mọ̀ pé ní mọ́tò mà, tí n bá dẹ̀ ìsàlẹ̀ ni mo wà, tí a bá dẹ̀ very urgent. I have car, but that's not my priority, darling. So I said, ẹ dúró. Ẹ jẹ́ n sáré bá yín pé tí ó bí taxi. Wọ́n wá bá yín bẹ́ẹ̀ sìn. So, because people will bring their urgency, their importance to disrupt your importance.
And you don't feel guilty about doing that?
Darling.
Well, many people feel guilty.
Yes, they do. But you see, in life, you have to take charge of your time. Otherwise, other people will take your time for their urgency. Because to them, it is urgent. And yes, they may come back and say, how could she do that? You know, my child is sick and da. You know, and it was urgent. But I provided a very reputable solution. I actually had that situation quite like yesterday. Somebody called me, gave me beautiful good news. So the good news was to encourage me for the next thing that was coming. The good news was I've got a job, and thank you so much for your signposting. That was just yesterday. And the person got the job based on our signposting in Luton. The Amazon job. I was happy, very happy, and I was very thankful that they... The next question is, however, I need £200 between now and Friday to be able to start the job and everything. Very urgent. Because I was also partly responsible for getting them the job. How much is it that you know? I said, how much is it first? Because I didn't want to assume it might be a small money, you know, like £25 or something. £200. I said, wow. I said, you know what? Why don't you ask the employer? Because they still want you. And if you don't ask, you don't get for an advance. Because I believe that employer pays weekly. But even for the week, you need some support to get there, right? I didn't think I could do that. I said, well, if you don't try, you don't know. The other thing you can do is also find out from them if it is possible for you to, because they can do weekly, that one I know for sure. If it is possible for them to help you at least 1 or 2 days, if they can't help you for the whole week. Do you understand? Then once you've got...
It will give you a cushion.
It will give you a cushion to come up with some other solutions.
That is interesting.
You must always put it back to the people to try and find a different way, because you see, people will come to you, Babashala, and say, they will even use the name of the Lord. The Lord has revealed to me you are the solution to my problem. But when you look at what they're proposing, it's going to disrupt your whole plan. And I'm not saying we should never inconvenience ourselves for others, but it must be your urgency and your importance, not theirs. This morning was our importance and urgency. So any other thing that tried to disrupt that, other than me, myself, I've passed out on the floor, is not urgent or important.
That is powerful. And many people get that wrong.
Yes.
Many people take, and I have fallen for that several times, taking emotional decisions.
We do. It's natural, because we are naturally want to be we're helpful beings. That's how God created us. He said it's more blessed to give than to receive. And sometimes we take these things out of context and we put burden on ourselves, I've heard so many stories, people will come, even at the airport. I think we're getting wiser now. Please, ma. Yes, ma. Can you come, ma? This thing, ma. Urgently help me take it. And you just can't. It doesn't matter. We know that now because of security issues. But remember, there was days where we would just collect things from people at the airport because we're being kind. Is that culture? Is it my urgency? Does it contribute towards what God has called us to do this morning? Because He will always bring distraction, like Baba Shala will say. That one over there will always bring distraction. And so we have to be focused. And that is why it's good that there's two of us, you see. Because accountability. By the time I'm thinking I want to go, and I say, hey, Baba Shala, thank God for the text reminder that I'm already on my way. So
Wow. That is so interesting.
I'll try and remember the name of the quadrant. It's like a 4-quadrant thing. One corner is very important, very urgent. One is not important, urgent. I'll try and, all the quadrants are urgent, by the way, but not all of them are important, or the other way around. You know what I mean? All of them are important, but not urgent. It's something like that.
I got too many hoes. I can't hang you. Like to put that shit in your door.